And it's time to pull the car over. Tell them to pull it over. Tell them to pull the car over. Tell them to pull the car over. They need to get out. And if they not willing to be in alignment, they're going to have to walk the rest of the way. Where they go and how they get there, not your business anymore. But you need to get back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's the ebb and flow. It's the ebb and flow. Now
Welcome back. For those of you who tuned in to episode 1, welcome back. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Courtney Sharell, and I am your host of the Ebb&flow podcast. If you would like to know more about what Ebb&flow is about, why I started it, what it means, the symbolicism, it's going to be a word today, the symbolicism of what Ebb&flow means, check out episode 1 and you'll get everything you're looking for. It's only 8 minutes, because this is where the real magic happens. This is where we begin. You know what I mean? With that being said, Happy New Year! We all made it to 2026. If you're looking at this, you made it to 2026. It's a win already. Making it to 2026 means you made it to a new opportunity to make your life even more of what you want it to be. So yeah, the title of this episode 2, is Live Life on Your Terms, not theirs. So let's really get into it for real. What does it mean to live on your terms? Well, I would say that first you got to define your terms. Well, Court, how do you define your terms? What does that even mean? What are terms? Like, what are you talking about? Well, I think you can define your terms by your values. What are your values? And, the reality is a lot of people don't even know what their values are. And if you're one of those people, that's fine. If you just haven't been in a space to really have to consider that or think about that, it is what it is. But it's never too late. It's a new year. Why not think about your values if you haven't already? You know what I mean? And values could look like, I'll share a few of mine. Some of my values are integrity, authenticity, community, creativity, obviously, companionship, for sure, intimacy. There's a list of them in my phone. Because it's one thing to think about your values, and then it's another thing to really kind of lay them out so that you can see them for yourself. You know what I mean? So yeah, like try to think about what those things are that are important to you. And even if you haven't necessarily like listed them out, you can look at your life and kind of tell what you value. And value simply just means like what's important to you, what you prioritize, what is necessary for you. And you can also look at your life to see what is not important to you, what is not necessary to you. And you can look at that based on what you've tolerated. And then also be clear about what it is that you want in life. Who do you want to become? What do you want to be to others, to yourself, first and foremost? You know what I mean? But I think in order to even get there, you got to get clear about why the Most High brought you here. Because see, over here, I believe in a higher power. I believe that there is someone, something greater than me, and I refer to that someone, something as the Most High, God. Some of you might refer to him as the source, the creator. Whatever that means to you, in this space, we are of the understanding that we did not get here on our own, which means we cannot do this on our own, because trying to do it on your own is just, it's too much. It's too much. If that's not something you really resonate with, I invite you to keep scrolling. Because people really do overcomplicate this whole social media thing. They be taking time out of their day to comment and let people know why they don't like what they saw and why they feel like that ain't right and they need to change their mind and all this type of stuff. Or you could just keep scrolling. The doors of the church are closed. Anyways, so figure out what your values are, who the Most High created you to be. Because back to episode 1, the purpose of this space is for us all to become who we were born to be. And I know I didn't get here on my own. Just think about certain situations you done been in to where it's like, I ain't gonna lie, that couldn't have been nothing but the Most High, because like that really should have went this way, but it went this way. I just invite you to really spend some time with the Most High. Get quiet, sit still. Don't scroll before you go to bed. Just lay down, and whatever comes to mind, and then ask genuine questions that you have. Why am I here? God, show me what it is I'm here to do, because me just being here just to be here don't make sense, and it shouldn't. So yes, I say all that to say that get in a space to get clear about why God brought you here, because that's gonna be the foundation of your terms. And then the next piece after that is to define your conditions. Because see, the way I think of this is I have established my terms and conditions to support my peace for 2026. And at this stage, I am only going to engage with, do business with, if you will, the people who are able to meet said terms and conditions. And every business deal has its negotiations. You know, not every term can be met, but that is why you have to get clear about which terms are negotiable and which are not. And the terms that are not negotiable, they have to be non-negotiable, which brings me to my next point. What are you willing to tolerate to uphold your terms? And what are you not willing to tolerate to uphold your terms? To support your values, to support your peace, to support who you want to become, to support who the Most High has created you to be. And let's be clear on that note. This is where it is so important that you are so clear about your terms and your conditions and not theirs, because some people are willing to live with and tolerate things that perhaps you are not. It doesn't necessarily make their terms wrong by standard. It just means that their terms are wrong for you, which is all the more reason why it's important that you are clear about what your terms are, so that you are clear about what is right for you. Because see, when I finally understood the concept of ain't nobody ever woke up and been Courtney Sharell for almost 30 years. Birthday August 5th. Stay tuned. Unless you have woke up and been me, you will never fully understand what it is like to be me. I can recount my experiences to you, but you'll never really know what it was like. I'm the only one who's cried my tears. I'm the only one who's felt my abandonment. I'm not about to allow anybody to tell me how I should do anything. Cause you ain't never woke up and been me. So you ain't seen what I seen, and you ain't felt what I felt. And on top of that, you taking advice from people, they ain't gotta live with your choice at the end of the day. Imagine you making that choice that they telling you to make, but they ain't got to deal with the consequences of that. You do. And that's why I say you have to be clear about what you're willing to live with, not what they're willing to live with. Don't make decisions based on what they would be willing to live with, because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with that decision. I locked in for a little bit, but I say that to say though, like just get clear about what you're willing to tolerate. And just because you're willing to tolerate things that other people are not, it does not mean that you are wrong. This is not about anybody else but you. Specifically and especially if you are paying your own bills. If can't nobody tell me what to do, then can't nobody tell me what to do. Okay? Especially when it comes to personal choices of mine. I'm gonna do what makes sense to me. And the reason why I will is because can't nobody do shit about it if I do what I want to do. We got to get clear about what we define as consequences. Because the older you get, the more you gotta shift your perspective of what a consequence means. Like, I would say a consequence at this age is if I don't do something, then it will impede my ability to pay my bills. It will impede my ability to, drive my car, to travel. Those are real consequences for me. And so if you make a decision that someone may or may not agree with, or if you decide to lead your life in a way that someone does not approve of according to their terms, I really need you to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? What are they going to do in the case that you do it anyway? I just think you should consider that. I just think you should consider that. Because in the case that you decide to do what you want to do anyways, and the check still clears, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? And then sometimes when it comes to things that we tolerate, I'm not going to act like everything will always be copacetic. We've all worked a job that we don't want to be at. We've all had to tolerate people or environments that we don't want to be in. The idea, though, is that in the case that you must tolerate it, let it be because that is a means to an end. Like, let's just say you're not quite on your own feet yet, and you can't quite live on your terms the way that you would like because someone else is paying part of your bills or most of your bills or whatever it is right now because you're down and out. Be clear that even if you do have to live life on their terms, it's with the understanding that that the only reason I'm doing this is so I can do whatever I gotta do to get up out of here. Because once I get up out of here, I'm the captain now. When he said that, I ain't even seen the movie. I just know that part of the preview. I don't even know what movie that's from. But when he said, I'm the captain now, I said, oh, shit, it's about to get crazy up here. So, I just want to remind you that you won't always be able to live on your terms 24/7, but just be clear that when you're not living on your terms, that you're not settling and that you don't feel like that's the only way that you can live and that you have to surrender your agency, your autonomy to that. That's another one of my values: autonomy, independence, agency, not playing about it. And that's the other piece too when it comes to values and stuff. Like, part of the reason I value what I value is because of what I've been through. Again, it comes back to me. And me having been me for as long as I've been me, and ain't nobody ever been me but me. I done been through some things. I done been through some things. And so at this stage in life, I am not willing to sacrifice my independence and my autonomy. Now, does that mean that I'm not open to partnership? Absolutely not. Whenever the right person comes along, please. Take it. Take the load off. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the trash out right now because I'm a grown adult. And that's what you're doing. I'm not about to let my place smell. But in the case that said partner does come in, please, by all means. If I never had to touch the trash again, love that for me. And that's my business. It can look like trash for some people, dishes for other people, whatever it is. Like, I just picked something that I don't particularly enjoy, but I know it has to be done. So, moving on. How will you reinforce your terms, even if they're not met? Because what this comes down to is boundaries. Because that's when we're talking about the concept of terms and conditions. Conditions are indications of if this, then this. But in the case that this happens, I need to be clear about what needs to follow after that. Yes. So in the case that my terms are met, then we can continue to engage. In the case that these terms are violated, we need to be clear about what is going to happen, or in my case, more often than not, what is not going to happen. I'm not one on revenge. I'm really not. I'm all about, if this works for me, great. If this doesn't, I'm out. You know what I mean? Because I don't see any point in wasting time or energy on things that are not serving you. Just disengage and move on, because you could be spending that energy on the things that do serve you and the things that do nourish you. All right, let me go on and wrap this up. Ask yourself, am I living on my terms or someone else's? Do my friendships and do my relationships reflect my values? Again, this the Courtney show. Not this, but like my life. This the Courtney show. You know, this is the you show. Whatever your name is, that's your show. It's your show. Everybody else is supporting characters. You cannot see it any other way. As long as you are grown, which I imagine most of my audience is, if not, you have a lot to look forward to. This is the Courtney show. And Courtney is the casting director, the producer, the co-creator, because the Most High is the creator. Let's be clear about that. But like, I have an active role in what my life looks like and what my life feels like. I choose to believe that. And I recognize that where I am in life, down to this painting, and that's another thing. We're going to get into this painting because this painting does symbolize ebb and flow, but that's another episode. But like, down to every single thing, everything in this place, everything in my house right now, in my home, I bought. The shoes on my feet, I bought it. The watch I'm wearing, I bought it. Okay? Like, everything that is around me, and this goes beyond material things. This goes into friendship, relationships, anybody who is in my life, that is a choice. Because can't nobody tell me what to do. It goes back to that. So ask yourself, do my relationships, do my friendships reflect my values? Do they honor my terms? And it's 2026. If you don't like the terms and conditions you've been living on, update your terms and conditions. Update them. That's the thing. When you're in charge, when it's your show, you running the show, change your terms and conditions and be prepared for the circles around you to adjust accordingly. In fact, welcome it. Because if you're making your terms and conditions based on the things that you know will support your peace, and then things start to fall off or wither away, you gotta know that that's happening for you, not to you. Ask yourself, am I actively choosing who and what I give my energy to? Or am I just going along for the ride? Have I just been in the back seat of my own life? Imagine somebody in the driver's seat of your car all the time. Not asking you where you want to go, but telling you where you about to go. That's crazy. Ooh. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's time to pull the car over. Tell them to pull it over. Tell them to pull the car over. Tell them to pull the car over. They need to get out. And if they not willing to be in alignment, they're going to have to walk the rest of the way. Where they go and how they get there, not your business anymore. But you need to get back in the driver's seat. Because this is your life. And it's time to live on your conditions. Because see, as far as I'm concerned, it's 2026. There's a lot of things that I was putting up with in 2025 and before that I'm not putting up with now. Christina's gone. I'm trying to tell you, if you know, you know. And that's the other piece too. For those of you who be on the TikTok for real, we gonna be locked in because it's gonna be a lot of references that only you and I are gonna get. And if you're not on TikTok, that's okay, because that's your business. And that's how I really want to wrap this up. Your terms and your conditions are all your business. That's your business. You don't have to even explain your terms and conditions to people, because you explaining them isn't gonna validate them anymore. Because more often than not, when we explain ourselves, it's because we're looking for agreement or validation. And when you understand that you don't need someone to validate or agree with your terms for you to live by them, there's no need to explain. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm willing to put up with. This is what I'm willing to tolerate. This is what I am not. You can get with it or you could not. Either way, you know what I'm saying? And the way that I'll be moving forward is like this. Either we can do business or we can't do business. Either these terms and conditions make sense with your terms and conditions. Because that's the other piece too. The terms and conditions is not about me dictating what everybody else around me needs to do. This is how I'm moving. How you moving? Oh, you moving like that? Ugh, can't do it. We can't do business. How you moving? Oh, you moving like that? Let's do business. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? And the last piece I'll add to that is, give yourself grace, because habits are not easy to break. Be patient with yourself as you adjust to your terms and conditions. Of course, everybody else gonna have to adjust, but give yourself time to adjust. You might not enforce that boundary as quickly as you would like to. That's all right. Give yourself time to think about it and go, I ain't like that shit. I need to check it. I need to talk about it. We need to have a conversation. That's okay. And then the more you do that, the more you'll even trust yourself to be able to take up for yourself and advocate for yourself anyway. The more you do that, the better. And then it'll get easier. And then you'll do it more quickly and on the spot. And then before you know it, you'll be a pro. So anyway, we went a little long today, ain't it? Y'all know I could yell. If you don't take away nothing else, remember that this is your life, not theirs. So you need to live on your terms, not theirs. This ain't a game. This is real life. And if you are not careful, you will look up. You won't even be in the back seat. You in the trunk. Hello? Anyways, I'll holla at y'all later. I'll holla at y'all next month. I've really just been having to adjust to the new year. January for me, I don't know about y'all, but January for me is like, it's 2026, but like not really, because like December was like yesterday, so it's just like February is when I start to really like get in the groove of things. January is almost like a decompression zone. Like it's been a lot of recalibrating for me. So there have been some old habits that have made their way through to the new year, but I've also been incorporating some new habits so that by February we can start to weed out the old habits and really lean into the new habits. But anyway, like I said, I'll talk to y'all later. In the meantime, I'm not about to recap. Y'all know what it is. Bye, y'all.
I got the whole damn year. Please.